U.S. Election 2024. Donald Trump loses hush-money presidential immunity bid for calling Stormy Daniels' utterances official acts. Presidential immunity protected Trump's remarks on Stormy Daniels, he said. He had a judge who disapproved of his hush money on Wednesday. The court rejected Trump's final request for a delay and allowed prosecutors to show the statements to the jury. A Manhattan judge ruled that President Trump's presidential immunity request was untimely and inadequate on Wednesday. In the 11 days leading up to the 2016 election, Trump attempted to postpone the trial of his hush money payments and shield jurors from remarks he made while in office regarding the $130,000 he paid to quiet porn star Stormy Daniels. Oral arguments in the GOP frontrunner's federal election interference lawsuit are scheduled for April 25, and he had intended to postpone the hush money trial until the U.S. Supreme Court determined whether his federal election meddling case is protected by presidential immunity. Justice Juan Merchan of the state Supreme Court said on Wednesday that Trump should have clarified why he postponed raising the issue of presidential immunity in his hush money case until early last month in a pretrial request. According to Merchan, President Trump's justifications for the late motion were inadequate and not compelling, and they failed to meet the 45-day deadline that is typically required by state law upon arraignment. Trump had earlier said that the U.S. Supreme Court's decision to consider his claims for federal presidential immunity and the prosecutor's timing were to blame for the lateness of his motion. Still, according to Merchan's writing, Trump has known for months that the prosecution in the hush money case plans to utilize remarks he made while in office as evidence. Merchan stated that the defendant was aware that the people had recorded and planned to exploit the defendant's purported utterances from interviews, social media, and public appearances. Even if it failed, he was fully cognizant that the defense of presidential immunity might be at his disposal, the judge noted. A judge stated, "This court finds that defendant had countless opportunity to raise the claim of presidential immunity well before March 7, 2024, referring to the date when Trump's lawyers eventually took action." A full denial of the defendant's request due to its untimeliness was the decision of the judge. The court declines to explore whether the idea of presidential immunity limits the admission of evidence of putative official presidential activities in a criminal case, the verdict stated. Trump had hoped that the jury wouldn't hear about his alleged pressure campaign to dissuade Michael Cohen, his personal attorney at the time, from helping with a federal investigation into the payments. Meanwhile, the defense said that when Trump denied knowing about the hush money payment while speaking to reporters on board Air Force One on April 5, 2018, he was acting as president. Reporters wanted to know why Michael Cohen made those claims if they weren't true. "You should probably consult Michael Cohen about this." Trump said that Michael serves as his attorney. Trump said, "No, I don't know," in response to a question about whether he knew how Michael Cohen obtained the funds for that payment. According to Trump's legal team, Susan Necheles and Todd Blanche, the president was speaking in his official role as the nation's chief executive when he made the remarks. Therefore, President Trump respectfully submits that an adjournment of the trial is appropriate to await further guidance from the Supreme Court. This should facilitate the appropriate application of the presidential immunity doctrine in this case to the evidence the people intend to offer at trial, their filing had stated previous. The scheduled jury selection for the hush money trial for April 15 has not changed. According to Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, Trump allegedly forged 34 corporate documents to cover up the payment to Daniels as legal fees. As far as Bragg is concerned, the falsifications broke both tax rules and legislation pertaining to campaign financing. Trump denies the charges and claims they are an effort to bring him down with a politically driven witch hunt. He has pleaded not guilty. Also, he says he and Daniels never had sexual relations. If found guilty, he might spend anything from 0 to 4 years behind bars, though most legal analysts believe the latter is highly improbable. Trump is holding out one final hush money stalling tactic. Merchan has not yet made a decision regarding the defense's claims that prejudicial pre-trial publicity makes a fair trial in Manhattan in April impossible for Trump.